Hello guys, welcome back to Vlogmas.
Merry Christmas!
Today's date is what? Today's date is, I think, 8. So we're supposed to be at Vlogmas day 8, but because I did not start at the beginning on the 1st of December, that's why the dates jumped. Because I noticed in my meal prep video, people were like, why are we on day 7 and you just put day 2 the day before? So sorry for the confusion, but the thing is, we can't keep up because Vlogmas has to end on Christmas Day, which is day 25. So welcome to day 8 of Vlogmas. I'm about to go out now. I want to go and pick Tito from school and then hopefully get the Christmas tree today. I'm so tired. I'm so over looking for a Christmas tree. So this is the Christmas tree I'm looking at, but this one is 47,000. Looks nice. We just found one Christmas tree. I just came to show you one Christmas tree, but we want to make sure we see the other option before we decide. So I think this is the Christmas section. Let's come here.
Hey, what's up?
You know it's the Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And what?
Happy New Year.
Do you know why I took my hair down? So because I put it in a ponytail, this hair is heavy. It was weighing my neck down like I was walking like this. I have to take it down before I kill myself. This one is 38.
You know those pines now, those... Okay, you know the one that we saw now that you like?
Yeah.
Had red.
Yes, I like those things with the pines, yeah. Wait, I didn't know this was a game, Yomi, seriously.
I mean, so I don't know which internet has it, but there we go.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
Wow.
Reminds me of my Mario days.
But my own is not playing the game. This is so unfair. No, you mean you put something on your phone. Maybe you put something on your phone.
This is the second time I'm playing this game. I don't know if I did.
My own is not showing it. Oh, that is so unfair. So we got, I always like buying this chicken cheesy stuffed cheesy something, like it's stuffed with, this is the only way I eat mushroom because it's inside this thing. I typically don't like mushroom, but see, it's so cheesy. It has sweet corn and then it has mushroom in it. And then we have chicken wings, and then we have the pizza. So for today's Vlogmas, we're going to be answering a question. I get emails all the time, but I don't have time to respond to everything in a video. So, but today we're going to be responding to this one, and let me read it out for you. It says, I've been watching your channel for a long time. I love your cooking videos as well as your vlogs and advice. I came across the video you put up about advice before you get married. My situation is a bit complicated in my opinion. I'm confused and I need major advice. So what does she say again? I've been dating my boyfriend for almost 3 years now, and all these times there have been ups and downs. Not to get into major details, we are not of the same tribe. He's Yoruba and I am Igbo. My mom has always had a problem with me dating someone outside my culture, but I believe we're in the 21st century where culture is no longer a barrier. I have learned to cook and understand a few Yoruba words and sentences that are spoken. Throughout our relationship, we have had 3 major breakups, and every time the breakup happens, somehow it's always my fault. I've gotten to the point where I feel like I might not handle this in the future. The truth is, I really love this guy, and we have been through a lot together as friends and before we started dating. He's not a fan of my religion, and that is okay. I respect his decisions, and I just want him to be more involved with me as much as I am with him. I think he's a little insecure. He does not like my guy friends because he thinks I might have had some history with them. I cannot speak without a minor argument coming up. It has gotten so bad that I am not sure if I want to discuss anything with him because it might bring up all the logistic arguments. Also, I think he sees everything as negative until proven positive. For example, we were having a conversation and I told him my friend has a new boyfriend and they invited us to have dinner with them. He will say something like, I thought she broke up with her ex like 3 months ago. Are you sure she did not cheat or was secretly talking to this new guy and used an excuse to break up with him? I see a future with him because we have talked about everything years ago, but now I feel like I cannot break his heart, and I am also afraid of what my family will say. They were never supportive in the first place just because he's Yoruba and nothing else. Honestly, I'm confused. And if I choose to leave, I feel like I wasted my time and invested all in nothing, but I really don't want to go because we have so much in common. Thank you for taking your time to read. I look forward to your reply. I think the last sentence just contradicted everything she said. She said we have so much in common, but from what I'm reading, there's nothing in common.
I mean, she recognizes the differences. They have their differences. She acknowledges it and she accepts it. That's fine, and that is okay. But when she says he's not a fan of my religion, and
meaning
it's okay,
he already has an opinion on your religion.
It is not okay when somebody is not a fan of your religion. This is not to say you can't marry somebody that's of a different belief as you, but if the person is not okay with it, then you have a problem. You have a big problem. That's one thing. Another thing is that in the whole context of the letter, you really did not even say anything nice about this guy. I'm very serious. Like, it seems like you want to marry him because you don't want to waste your time. You have history with him. You don't want to waste your time. You know, you have a level of chemistry with this person, but you're not even saying things like he's supportive. You're not saying things like he's awesome in this, he's great in that,
generous.
And then the idea of him being jealous is normal. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. That's it with men. Men will always be territorial when it comes to male friends. It's normal. It's not going to die. There's going to be a control. He's going to be able to manage his emotions with time, but that's not even really going to go away. It's always going to be a question mark there. But the real issue here is your belief. Your belief is very important. Whether you're a Christian, whether you're an atheist, whether you are a Muslim, it is very important. There's a part in the Bible. I don't know if YouTube is going to demonetize this thing, but there's a part in the Bible where it talks about not being unequally yoked. Not being unequally yoked does not mean, oh, don't go and marry outside your religion. It means the person must share the same fundamental beliefs as you
and values
as you. That's all it means. You can be both atheists, but you might still have different fundamental beliefs about the question of marriage itself, or about what to do in your marriage. Because I tell you, when push comes to shove, everything is encircled around your belief in your marriage.
Even the Bible says, can two work together unless they agree? And it looks like you people are not agreeing on a lot of things.
I mean, I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to say, if you do not share the same belief, if you do not share, you can see Christians and Muslims, they marry and they still share the same beliefs in the marriage. They'll still share the same belief. That's being equally yoked to me. You know, and other people say, oh, don't marry Muslim, don't marry that. I don't really bother about that. If you look at what your parents are doing, let me be honest, I feel it's always a good and a nice thing when you marry from your culture. I'm not saying don't marry outside your culture. I'm saying there's an advantage of marrying within your culture. A very, very good advantage based on the fact that you should share. Your culture is a belief and faith system. You believe in certain things and you share certain ideals in culture. Same thing as religion. You share certain beliefs and you share certain, certain ideals. When you throw that away, my dear, your marriage won't work. It's just simple. It's not hard. All you have to go by is willpower. Oh, it must not break apart, it must not break apart. But you won't really enjoy your marriage. You won't agree on much. You won't see eye to eye on much. Your wife will do something that will shock you. Your husband will do something that will shock you. Yeah, you will have that cultural shock. Let me put it that way. So I'm not saying that, oh, how dare you marry from another culture. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should see the advantages in that. You know, there are some advantages there. And even if you're not going to marry from the same culture, then you have to try and embrace the same beliefs. If it's through religion, if it's the same mindset, if it's the same, just the same ideals, then you have to try and embrace it. That's what I would say. So what you need to know is concerning this relationship, if you want to go ahead into marriage, it's never too late to break up, my dear, please. You're going to spend the rest of your life. Yes, you're going to spend the rest of your life in a marriage that is going to depress you. Please, it's never too late to break up. Anybody, if they want to return back their gifts, it's not a problem. But please, you need to, because from what you've said, you need to set your mind that there are going to be serious challenges. There are going to be serious challenges because you're not from the same culture. I'm not saying your marriage can't work out splendidly, right? But you need a belief system to hold your marriage on. So if you're not your religious wise, you're not compatible, you're saying he's not a fan of your religion, and you think it's okay, it's not okay. It's not okay. Because what else is he a fan of? Does he support you in your career? What is he a fan of in you? What beliefs do you have? Are there things that he can do that your jaw will drop to the floor? Are there things you can do that his own jaw will drop to the floor? So, I mean, at the end of the day, you need a belief system that both of you can hold on to for principles in your marriage. That's what I think.
Just going to address it from, okay, let me be reading the email and be addressing it. So she said they've had 3 major breakups. I think that's just a sign that you need to do the final breakup. Left to me, if we didn't have to speak English and speak grammar and give a sentence on maybe why you need to be in this relationship or why you don't need to be in this relationship, I would have just replied with no.
Because you know what the
because
part
from
is?
everything,
Let me see. Basically, what she's trying to say is that love is enough. Because from the whole context, she's just basically saying she loves him, she spent time with him, she loves him, she loves him. Love is really not enough. It's not. If you're saying I love him, I love him, I love him, is that what the basis of your marriage? Is that what the faith system is? Is it love?
And love is not enough for a marriage, Abi?
It's not. It's not. You're not going to say, oh, you know what? Because we love each other, this thing is going to work out. What are you going to use for it to work out in the love? It's not. You can't just say it's love. You can't. If your husband, right, comes to you one day and say, I'm thinking of taking a second wife, and you're a Christian, what are you going to do? And your husband is an atheist, or is a traditionalist, or is a Muslim, what are you going to do? These things are serious. These are not.
Then love would have cleared from your eyes.
Thank you. This is not. Okay. When you face the challenges, when these challenges come up, what is going to give you faith, or what are you going to build your faith on or your strength on to make you continue, to allow you continue in this relationship? Is it going to be on love, my dear? No. My dear, it can be a bit negative. It's a big deal. That means that if you come home around 10, he's assuming, like, let's say there's traffic and you're home by 10, he's assuming you're sleeping around. I'm not even going to play with you here. This guy is a boy. Let's call it what he is. Don't try to. Don't try.
He always said don't try.
Don't try him. Don't marry the boy. Let me tell you my own opinion, because I don't want anybody to say, oh, you know, they are always saying, yes, go ahead, love will save the day. Love will not save the day here.
She's saying that I respect his decisions. I just want him to be more involved with me as much as I am with you. as much as I am with him. It's like you are in a relationship by yourself going in the first place. So if this guy is not involved with you as much as you are with him, then my friend, what are you doing there? Like, what are you doing there? He's a little insecure, like Yomi said. That's okay sometimes, like a little jealousy here and there, but when you say insecure, I mean, are you suffering from it? Exactly. Are you suffering from that insecurity? Like, do you see yourself crying because of his insecurity? Do you see yourself, you know, having okay, she said he does not like my guy friends. No, well, that is, I can't. At least none of your guy friends, like no one. No, yeah, it's not even that. The issue is, do you see yourself suffering from his insecurity? Do you cry about it? Do you apologize? You know, are you suffering from this insecurity? Do you have to apologize for his insecurities? Do you get injured because of his insecurities? Do you get rebuked because of his own insecurities? These are things that you have to ask yourself. But there's something you have to be honest with yourself. But there's something that really came across to me at the end of the letter. She said that she also doesn't want to break up with him, not only because of the time that she spent, but because after her parents have told her, right, have long warned her about it, that she will now you know, break up with the guy. You know, she doesn't want that issue where her parents are going to be like, we told you so, now you want to marry, you're now calling the whole thing off. My dear, that's a sign, that's a big sign that your parents have already said this thing is not good. Forget the fact I'm Yoruba, your parents are Igbo. Your parents are already telling you that this thing is not okay. Your parents will not be the first people to not like or not want you to marry from another culture, but at the end of the day still agree. They won't be the first if they decide to do that. But in this case, I just don't think they like this relationship. It might not be a tribal thing. Yeah, definitely. They would prefer for you to marry from your own tribe, no doubt. But this might not be a tribal thing. And then you're already saying you don't want to confirm your parents' worst fears, but you're already doing it. You're already scared that, look, this thing, yeah, it can't work. You're already scared of not, right now it's not as if you're even bothered about the relationship. You just don't want your parents to be like, oh, we told you so. And if it's a situation they told you so, then they've told you so, you better think twice. I was woken up. Tito, pizza. Ooh, pizza. Pizza. So she said, if I choose to leave, I feel like I've wasted my time and invested all in nothing. But I don't really want to go because we have so much in common. I think that is the most important statement you made. Like, you feel like you would have wasted everything. And I think this is one of the biggest mistakes women make. I think women make that mistake a lot. Other men make it, but women tend to be so emotional, like, I've invested time, money, body, everything in this relationship, and then you feel like you have to then marry the person. But look at it this way, you've invested maybe, look at it this way, you've invested maybe, what, 5 years, 10 years, what's come to us, 10 years, but compared to a lifetime that you're going to spend with this guy, is it going to be worth it? When you think about it like that, then you need to put everything in perspective. Because if you say because of the 5 years you've spent with somebody, you don't want to waste that 5 years, then you're going to be wasting the rest of your life. And you should never marry somebody because of the time you think you've invested in the relationship. She also said, I've gotten to the point where I feel like I might not handle this in the future. And I'm like, you're already feeling it. The truth is, I feel the person that wrote this letter to me, you already know what you want to do. You just need someone to ginger you to do it. Do it. Break up this relationship. I think this is the first time I'm telling somebody to break up. Is it the first time? But from what you've said, I don't think this is a healthy relationship. You are already feeling like you should break it up. The only thing, the only thread that's holding you there is what will people say, and you have invested time. Well, and she said you've been dating him for 3 years. 3 years. Ordinary 3 years. Some people have done 10 years. Some people have done 15 years. Please, 3 years is nothing. Please, 3 years is nothing. Don't tie your destiny down to 3 years of relationship. Please don't do that. So that's me giving my honest feedback, and Yomi giving his own advice. I hope you find a way to make your decision, and I hope you're not confused anymore. You guys, make sure you leave your comments. What do you think she should do? Should she break up, like give her a capital breakup, or should she still consider this guy? I'm on team breakup on this one. Like, please just break up and be going, and you find someone else, or you will enjoy your singlehood or your singleness. But I don't think this is the person for you, because I don't think he's adding value to you from what I'm saying. First of all, he's insecure. Second of all, he's not that into you, because you wrote it there that you want him to be more involved with you as much as you are in him. So he's not that even into you like that. I'm not saying this guy is a terrible guy, but he's just not the right guy for you. He might be the right guy for somebody else. There's somebody else that might need this kind of person in their life, but I don't think you need it, because it's going to stress you out in so many ways. And like Yomi said, love is not enough to carry you in a marriage. There are so many other things you have to consider, like being equally yoked, being agreeing. Looks like you guys don't agree on a lot of things, so I don't really support it. The way I said I don't support it, as if my opinion is the final opinion that is going to make or break this relationship. Me and Yomi have managed to fall in love with this tree.
Yeah, but we're not paying the bad price.
I just saw her at Ebano, yes. And she said she watches my channel.
Yes, I do like your channel.
Thank you.
Usually, if we're talking more about how can you do this to me, how can you lie to me, how can you make a fool of me, once the attention of especially the cheated party is on themselves, it's most likely that marriage will not survive. If it survives, it may not be good. But once I hear someone say, how can you do this to us? I love you. So the person is talking about the relationship. They are fighting for the relationship. Usually once the initial trauma passes, the initial anger and all of that passes, it is very, very easy. In fact, oftentimes it's the cheated person that begins to ask the question, what could I have done? Why? What were you looking for? How could I have helped? And then we can get into this second level where we look at the context in which the affair happened. And that's where you can metabolize the negative energy and create a new marriage out of it that is sometimes stronger than the first marriage. But once it's a narcissistic hurt that is focused on self, usually the pride that is wounded, the heart that is wounded, will not allow the person who's been wounded to see beyond the pain they have and to see that there may be a future for this marriage. And so if you're a counselor out there, maybe you're a pastor, you listen to people and you work with people who have this kind of challenge, you want to listen out and listen to the language that is being spoken. If the issue is you sinned against the marriage, I loved you, you betrayed our love, our children, usually once the anger passes, you can find it easy to reconcile. But when it is about me, you made a fool of me, how are people going to see me? When it's about me, that's narcissistic love. And usually they will rather break up the marriage, destroy whatever is involved, than reconcile. Most times I don't even bother or do much to help those kind of people because they really don't want to fight for the relationship. Okay, good evening.